That's how much pull he had. How known he was. Yeah. All I remember walking in is seeing the bar area and girls on a pole and one not having a shirt on, and I was just like, and she was like, Ashley. I was like, people looking like I'm, is that like weird? Like, she's like, Ashley, put your hands down. I was like, I've never seen other women. So, he's supposed to work on it tomorrow. I'm not, girl, it ain't gonna be it's not a month thing, babe. Listen, let me explain it to you, okay? We are going through tomorrow he's just gonna ramble and I'm gonna edit it. I'm not gonna ask questions like I did this last time because it took us an hour to ask those few questions that I did. So here's what it's gonna entail. Okay, I'm doing how he got into the prison, why he got started. I thought that was important to know why he started. His mom was there the whole time. His aunt, I think she passed away, like, during the time of that, you know. No, girl. He was supposedly a doctor. That wasn't his name. He told us lies about what his name was. I got told at the tire shop. Picked up my tire and said, Mr. such and such. I know what name he gave me. He was like, that's not the name on the card. I was like, give it here. He was. He begged me to come up there and live with my 4 children. And I refused because I didn't want my children to go from a METH user who I just left in the middle of the night. Or actually, he was gone at that point. I hadn't left, like, we were broken up, but, like, he hadn't left the house and bothered me. I hadn't put a restraining order against him. I hadn't filed my divorce, all that stuff. And I only went up there because my then husband, who had left me, had stolen my rent money, my deposit. It was my electricity money, not my deposit. So I didn't have rent money. And that's the only reason I got in that predicament. And only one friend knew I was going. Only one friend knew my location at all times. She was a work friend, and she knew I was going. But yeah. Yeah. I could have moved to Nashville. And I could have had a penthouse or apartment or whatever I would have chosen, but I didn't want that lifestyle for my children. And that wasn't me. Like, I went up there on a whim. You know, one of those things like, that's a choice I made that I can't take back. But it is a choice I made. So, and he was good to me. He was nice to me. But, you know, I'm an emotional person. I don't let people go very easily. Example, abuser. Okay? Example, trusting situation. Example, my ex-husband Michael I just can't let go of people that I care about because I give my heart too easily. Okay? We don't get in politics here. If you want to go to politics, go somewhere else, baby. I didn't vote this year. Don't remember voting last year. So therefore, I didn't vote. Don't matter. Okay? Don't matter. And honestly, our votes don't matter anyways. It's electoral college that matters and the rich billionaires who matter. Our little votes really don't matter. If you look into the logistics of it, it really is electoral college and the billionaires. But we don't get into that, okay? I don't get into politics because they're both crooked. They're both wrong. They both have to go by the agenda of the corporation. And the corporation is not... We're not getting into that. We don't agree with government, okay? So, we don't agree with government, okay? We agree they've stripped us of our rights. They've lied to us since we were born. They programmed us to believe certain things that aren't true. And we are not free. We are slaves, every one of us. No matter who you are. Until you turn 18, after 18, you're a slave. And even then, before you're a slave because you put your hand on that birth certificate and social security card. I digress. I'm not getting into that. Kevin's learning all that, not me. My brain can't handle all of it. There's too much to learn. There's too much to do. There's too much. Yeah, it's just too much. So, with Kevin's story, here's how it's going to be. I was going to go like in segments. I was going to do why he started, how he went to HOA, which is protective custody, which, whatever he said it was. Okay, and then go into that. But I think the best way to do it is just sit there and let him ramble and me edit it into segments, shorter segments, so I can post more. I don't got to worry about him coming home once or twice a week and sitting down and recording when he's worked 13 hours and drove 40 minutes and then stopped at the store round. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Oh, girl, this is yesterday's makeup. I've slept in it. It's horrible. Thank you, though. So this time around, I'm going to try to let him tell about the HOA, not HOA, that's the housing crap. HO something. Y'all know, one of y'all will know what it's called. Protective custody. And I'm going to go into protective custody. There's a little guy with initials C he's going to talk about. We're going to talk about him. He's talking about a lifer that got off the bus. Made it pretty hard on him. He's going to talk about being seen and moving up to first shift, joining the riot team, go into training, what that entailed, how it hurt him while doing training for a riot team. He messed up his knees. All of that type of stuff. They're going to go into the riots, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico will not be on here. Puerto Rico will be on YouTube. I cannot put Puerto Rico on here. If you want to hear the factual about Puerto Rico, I cannot put Puerto Rico on here. It's too graphic. And his stabbing may be too graphic. I may not be able to put it on here either, depending on how he words it. So you have to sit in the background and be like, talk plain. You know, that's what I'm doing right now behind the camera. You don't see me. People are like, do the podcast so you'll sit beside each other. That will come, I promise. But right now, I've got to get him accustomed to not saying the G word, saying pew pew. Not saying the D word, saying rugs. Not saying S word, saying unalived. Not saying the M word, saying smurdered. I have to teach him how to divert back. You know, I have to get him to redo the sentence because I can't put that in there. So that's what I'm doing right now behind the cameras. Is I'm going, yes, he was stabbed. He's got a stab mark right here, stab mark around his arm. Yes, he was stabbed. Then we're going to go into him messing up. What made him get let go of. Him talking with the gang leaders inside of a room without any protection, nobody else. He'd walk into their cell with nothing, just pop the door open. And this is not just his stories that's been told to me. His mama has told me, his family has told me, my distant cousin has told me. She worked with him. One of the stories is going to be about her and how he handled an inmate who disrespected her when he knew the rules. That's why they respected Kevin, because he gave rules, but he respected them also. If you respected the rules, he respected you. If you were a man, he treated you like a man. He's going to talk about all that. And how they parted when he walked on the compound more than the warden. Because the warden wasn't personal with him. Girl, I'm working on it. What y'all see is what I had recorded. That's all I had. So this is what I'm explaining to y'all. This is going to be like a year-long thing, okay? Maybe I'm going to shoot for 6 months to 8 months for it to be done. And then 6 to 8 months, we'll start doing like a podcast and just talking to each other and going back over the story and telling maybe some more intimate details. We're going to talk about how he got fired, what entailed the year after, how he got set up and put in prison. We're not going to say who, but we're going to say roundabout how it happened. When he went to prison, how the warden responded, because he was well known in Tennessee. He's been to Whiteville, he's been to Nashville, he's been to all over Tennessee with riots. They knew them as the best riot team in the 2000s. And you can look it up. He was this. He was a captain in the prison. There's no lie about that. And you can look up and see that he's a felon, so there's no lie about that. He was jumped 2 times by 6 to 8 men. They beat him up pretty badly. He had to come off of medication in prison. He's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about how he thought he knew it all and he was right and made poor choices, which led him to lose $100,000 job a year at 20, 30 years old. How he would have been a warden if he would have stayed. We're going to talk about after prison, coming into parole, going on the road and working, why he got in the mindset of hurt women before they can hurt me, use them for just sexual, and then we're done, no emotions in it, and then how me and him met. We're going to go into all that. Every bit of it. He's ready to tell his life story, because what do we have to lose? Nothing. We have nothing to lose at this point. So, who cares? People are going to talk about us anyways. Who cares? And he's actually been really excited about it, that he went ahead and ordered more microphones. So, he's excited. He was going to do it last night, but he's just tired, you know. So he said tomorrow we're going to sit down and he's just going to do a bunch of talking, and then I can post a segment or two, and then I'll have more to post for later. So I'm going to try to start posting it like every 3 days. Twice a week at least. But every 3 days so I can keep the momentum going. But he's ready to tell y'all all that. And I can't do it because when he tells it when he's actually enjoying it, he's way more into it, and he's reliving it. And I like it that way. I don't like it sitting and just asking questions, because he tries to not be personal, and I want you guys to see why Kevin is who he is. I want you guys to see where Kevin has came from as to why, how he met me, all this happened, and how we've had to do a lot of growth in 10 years to get him out of that mindset and the position that he had put himself in after all those years. I mean, it's a lot, but I feel like it's important to make sure that y'all don't just be cut and dry. You know, no personality to it, no nothing, no emotions. Like that second part, he was really crying in that video, and I had to cut it off. I was like, why are we crying? I said, I'm asking you questions about Mom because I think it's important to know that your mama was 90 pounds soaking wet, 100 pounds soaking wet, and you started the prison because her and your aunt. That, to me, that's pretty crucial. His mom worked there way after he was let go of. So I feel like, there you are, I feel like that's their story, you know, the beginning part. But this is going to be his story, not his mom's story. But I feel like it was important to say that because that's why he started. He didn't start for any other reason. It was because his mama was aunt too. He loved her dearly. So, you know, there's some things he's never told that I know, that his family don't even know. But I'm not sure he's going to say those things. But, like, I begged him to tell his mama. I begged him, but he wouldn't do it. He was worried that it would hurt her too bad. So, but he's got a lot to tell. And I'm excited about it. I hope that he stays excited about it, because even if TikTok goes away, I can post it on all the other apps, and, you know, eventually it'll get traction. He's excited because your analytics tell you this video is getting more views and more shares and likes than any video in the past 6 to 8 months, year, 2 years, whatever it is. Keep it up. Keep the momentum going. Well, I keep telling him right now these videos aren't going to get 100,000 views because it's not a steady storyline. They want to come when they find a video and start from the beginning and get a good storyline. It's going to take probably 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes for people to really be like, hey, let's go watch that. Hey, it's on my video. Hey, you know, I saw that. So, you know, Jen, you say what you want, baby. I find it funny. So, his mom hated me. That's quite funny. Quite funny. Hilarious. That must be the 21-year-old cousin who's nothing by blood who thinks she knows my children better than I do. That must be you popping in. Must be. You weren't nothing to his mom, remember? So, if that's you, keep your mouth shut. Because you're just going to make court look worse. You already have. So, keep adding if that's you, and we will keep keeping evidence for court. I haven't shared nothing. Nothing. I said I was going to, but I hadn't shared nothing yet. You keep sharing. So therefore, you guys know that I'm telling the truth, or they wouldn't come on rebuttal trying to make me look bad. But Ashley ain't showed nothing yet. I ain't posted a single proof. I haven't anything. And you guys are posting it now? And that's going to look real good in court? It ain't. Especially when the court documents say kids are to be kept off TikTok, and kids' court information is to be kept off of TikTok. But you guys are posting it on Facebook and TikTok, so therefore, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty certain. She was the instigator the other day on the Facebook post that got outed, which I don't care. I deleted my comment not because I'm ashamed of it. I meant every word I said, and Kevin backed me. Kevin didn't want drama and didn't want to deal with it. So I put a smiley face, laughy face on there because of all the people that jumped on and responded who have no part in it. So yeah, I do. It's been steady since that, and I'm pretty positive. Pretty positive. And when I get a lawyer and a private investigator, they'll prove all of it. They'll prove the IP addresses match to certain people. I don't think they're smart enough to know how to get around an IP address, so that will happen, I promise. I'm not letting this go, neither is he. So, therefore, we have nothing to lose, and we're going to do everything we can to get this back in court and to get the proof shown, not opinions. So, therefore, Girl, let them. Let them. You made our life hell, and now I'm going to do the same. If that means that you get parental alienation and you get breaking of the court documents, I'm glad. I'm glad. I have been going for 16 months trying to protect the image, and I'm done doing that. And if I didn't say some truth the other day, why did they text me 4 times when I haven't heard from them in months? Why do they post up on Facebook if it wasn't true, what I was saying, things, whether the past or now, why do they get their panties in a wad and start showing stuff they're legally not supposed to show? They're not protecting the kids. They're putting them in the drama just like everybody else is. That's not protecting the kids. In fact, kids in foster care and kinship are not supposed to be shown on social media. They're supposed to have their faces blurred. So from the very beginning, you've been posting my children on your profile pictures, and the haters have got it and know where they're at. Specifically, the ones who try to be involved, that I made sure wasn't involved because the courtroom was cleared and they weren't allowed in the courtroom, period, because they weren't part of it. And now you're sharing it public for them to get. That is the same thing they said I was doing prior. Before, okay? Kinship is considered care. Kinship is considered care. I said kinship or foster. I didn't say that they're in foster care. I said kinship or foster. It's to protect the children's location, where they're going to school, where they're going to church, who they're around. If they're removed from their family, it's to protect them from whatever they were removed for, which is the haters online. Stalking, harassing, bullying. They were sent that far away for that reason. And then now you're putting it online like they were told not to? Like, we were all told that. It was in the meeting I have recorded that they weren't even present for, but on the phone. So, therefore, like I said, I keep everything. All messages, everything. Everything. You didn't see a picture of the kid's face. You ain't saw it once. You saw hair. That's not a picture of the kids. That's a blurred out face. Just like I said. Children in care are not supposed to have their faces shown. Look it up yourself. And you do not see a picture of my children with their faces shown. Unless you got it from the haters who got it off that page, not mine. Because I don't share the post with my kids' pictures in it. Because I don't know who's on my Facebook. There's somebody... The people on my Facebook that are haters. And I don't know who to unblock. So, therefore, Kevin did it last year. He got a cussing from me. Why did you share that post on Facebook? Oh, it's the kids. Dude, do you not realize that you're literally sharing the picture of the kids' faces while they're in care? So he stopped doing it as well. We have different, Etta. We have it in the paperwork. Children are not to be shown on TikTok. And there's videos of my children on TikTok with these people. Okay? That was a stipulation. So therefore, even though yours are, doesn't mean everybody's is. Okay? Kinship care is family, foster care is strangers 90% of the time. Kinship care is friends or family that kids are used to keep it more normal, to keep them at a regular state versus being with strangers who don't even know them. Usually if family don't show up, friends don't show up that qualify, they go to foster care. Foster care is people who qualify but are not anything to those children, usually strangers. Kinship is usually family or friends. Sometimes you can get distant people that know them to take them, but it's very, I wouldn't say it's hard, but there's a lot of like stipulations in place for a lot of different things. So, thank you. Yeah, social media was blamed for all of this. So then you put them on social media? Doesn't make sense, you know? But anywho, I got all my videos recording that I showed, and I didn't share a single picture of my kid's face. So therefore, we'll see. We'll see in court. Especially having children call you mother, mom, and you're their sister. You're not there to replace. You're there to facilitate re-establishing their family. You're there to try to get us back together, and if we fail on doing what we're supposed to do to that to happen, then you're there to pick up the pieces and try to fix it, and then show the courts, hey, they've been lying, they ain't been showing up, they've been whatever. But zero chance means that you are alienating their children from their parents. So whatever else you want to say, go ahead. But that is exactly what has happened. When we chose you because we thought you would be the best person to keep our family like normal, so the kids wouldn't be traumatized or hurt or not understand or confused. They would understand because they were with you. But we'll see, okay? We'll see. My page ain't about the kids right now. I ain't making it about the kids. It'll never be about the kids. So in the future, it will not be about the kids. The kids come back now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, it will not be about the kids. So get used to that. Like I've said, people on this app who don't post their kids or show them regularly or go live with their kids are the ones who do not get harassed and hated and stalked. They make it about themselves, their business, not even their relationship. If they show their relationship, it's good. They don't show anything bad because it's the narrative, it's the storyline, it's the script, it's how they make their followers and their money and all that stuff. And I've just been too stupid to do that, you know? I've been too stupid to not, all of that. They showed up to court, lovely. Okay, let me explain it to you. My church friend was approved for kneeling and trusting. My other close friend here locally was chosen for the 3 older children, or was their grandmother on the other side who lived across the street from my friend, okay? These 3 people were chosen. His family showed up. I told you everyone showed up. Surprised us. Didn't know why they showed up. Didn't understand it, okay? Showed up, offered to take all 5 of them in a 3-bedroom house. We thought, okay, well, that will keep them from being separated and keep them in our family. Family who has done family gatherings. Family who's done birthday parties. Family who's done, etc. gatherings at Nana's. Nana's dead now, so there's no gatherings. Since she died and the kids have been gone, there ain't been no gatherings. None. They've cut this family out and acted like the other side of the family is my kids' family. This side we just don't exist. Me and Kevin included. Uncles included. But the other side of the family, who never was around them but 2 times prior in the last 9 years, is now their family. Their gram, their mom, their auntie, their cousin. And they're nothing to them, nothing. Like Snooty wouldn't even give them time of day. Hey, the one that's come online talking, she ain't even been around my kids. It's been her sister. And you just cut out the reason why we chose them. I got it all recorded. The court dates, the meetings, I have it all recorded. My friends and their grandmother was already approved, but we didn't want our children to be separated. But we would have saw more with those 2 people. And if you saw pictures of her and her dad, you would say, where does she feel uncomfortable? Where? That was his best friend. She was his best friend until I come along, until my children come along. Doesn't make sense. We are so dumbfounded. We're so hurt. We're so confused. Completely sidetracked. Literally, it's not hard to figure out once you go back and read all the messages. And you go back and read messages from other family members. So, you know, it's just nonsense, okay? Nonsense. Complete nonsense. Complete. Okay? I'm not thankful because you're not good to children who you're not trying to reinstate their parents with them. That's not what the whole purpose of kinship is. If I didn't want my children back, they would have stayed in foster care and been adopted out. Do you guys not understand that? If I didn't want my children back, we wouldn't send money to help. If I didn't want my children back, we wouldn't be trying to progress our life for our children. The whole point in the meeting was for normalcy, and it's not been normal at all. Okay? So I think you need to reevaluate the fact that there is coercion. Yes, my oldest son thought forever that I just abandoned him when his stepmother wouldn't let me around. Now he sees that she literally would not let me around. Okay? My other friends, my children loved. My other friends made sure we would have seen them. She'd been in kidship before. She'd done 2 people that wasn't even kin to her. Took care of those kids to help. If they'd been at their grandmother's house, I would have saw them more. So, people on here with mental issues that haven't had their children in 10 years have worked hard and got their children back. Ashley, the girl 20 years on the streets. The redhead, Sarah. Remember what her kids said a few years ago? They hated her and didn't want to be around her because their dad was telling them stuff, making her be out a horrible person. Do you remember that? Now she's got her kids at home. There is a lot of influence when you have children of adolescent minds with people who say stuff. There is influence. So, you can say what you want, but you don't just go from loving your dad, running to see him when he gets up, always dad, 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 crying for him when you hang up the phone, even now, to him being the worst person. Is it me or is it him? Make up your mind. You text him that it's me, and you text me that it's him. Which one is it? And if it's me and him, if it's him, then why in the world are you saying opposite? Okay? You know, even murderers and rapists get to see their children in prison. Even people in rehab get to see their children, and we weren't ordered to rehab because we don't need rehab. So, when I say the truth, everybody gets their panties in a wad, and the haters, and they come online and say stuff that isn't true, half-truth, whatever, and that should show y'all. The things that I say make them mad because they literally know that there's truth in it, and they don't want the truth to come out. Like I said, they will have problems from this. They will say you hurt me. They will say you made mistakes and you failed me. They will. Riley's done it to me. I owe Riley's apologies because I didn't show up. I should have said better. I should have been able to come see him more. I'm at fault just as much as Matt is. And he has mommy and daddy issues. Severe mommy and daddy issues. Like, our children were wonderful. They had a mother and father in the home. Now, we made mistakes, yeah. But to be just completely dropped and like you don't exist and you're dead, that is not right. Exactly, he does. Miss Wendy, you look good. You look really good lately. I just thought I should tell you that. And I don't know, were you on vacation this past week or was it old? Because you look really good on vacation or when you went and visited your grandbaby. And you've lost a lot of weight. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You look wonderful. You looked wonderful before. I mean, don't take it that way, but you do. You look wonderful. You look healthy. You look happy. And I hope Cade's doing okay. I saw your post where you said they didn't know for sure, but I didn't know. Thank you. I didn't know if something else had happened. Are you going to be cooking tonight? Oh, thank you. I don't feel like it. Are you going to be cooking tonight? Cooking tonight? Dang, my typing's on. Well, thank you. Haters say that I'm a user, even though I take one legal script in my name, that if you know who, my hater would actually share my actual factual, which she's not supposed to do, but if she'd actually share that, she would see that I was prescribed it because I had it in my system when I got pregnant the first time with Kevin, because I thought it helped my anemia. I was a severe anemic, like 7. Hemoglobin was 7. My hemostatic was low also. Had to have 5 transfusions over a period of time of 8-hour iron. I couldn't just go in for the 30-minute bag. I had to have the 8-hour iron because my body doesn't absorb it. My body's allergic to taking oral iron. Because I'm so constipated, it makes you more constipated, okay? If they would tell the actual truth, that's how I got on that. I never have had anything that I've been addicted to. Never. I got 20 Dros when I had Andy and Natty, and guess who took those? Michael. Couldn't have anything because he took it. I mean, literally. So, you know, I was going to have them for a while because I just had the babies. No. They stopped doing that because I'm sure a lot of husbands were taking them and people got bad on them. Kevin's going to tell y'all how he got bad on his legal script, and they just cut him off, and how that led into that year of him doing the stuff he did, the year of him having a bad girlfriend, the year of him making bad choices, the year of him losing his job at the prison, all of that, okay? That's what he's going to get into. We don't talk about the kids. They're doing great. They're doing great. I don't agree with the people that have them right now, what they're doing, but other than that, the kids are wonderful. I don't agree with how they're facilitating their parents to be involved. That's it. And if you think about it, Kevin gets off at 6 o'clock. It's a 2-hour drive. There is no days besides Sunday that we'd be able to visit. That's 4 times a week, 4 times a month. We couldn't come 4 times a month, but there's birthdays throughout the year we could plan for. There's Christmas, there's Thanksgiving, there's holidays. That's why we chose them, thinking we'd still have family gatherings. Before this, I'd been to gender reveals at that house, baby showers, dropped the kids off there, went on a date with Kevin, been over there just to visit, like I was welcome. And then them just hating us because I started social media and going live doesn't make sense. That's why we're so hurt. Like, if you didn't like me, why have I been in your house numerous times? Why take pictures of my fiance and his ex-wife and his daughter? Because I care about y'all. I thought a lot about y'all. I chose y'all, even though you're nothing to my older children, because I thought you would be influential in positive ways, not just positive how you raise them, positive in keeping family like normal. That's not hard to understand as to why I'm upset. You know, if I'd let such and such have them, the one that tried to get Natty and all this stuff, you know, I would have probably not ever seen them. But, you know, Jennifer, do you know what anemia is, baby? Let me help with that. I didn't know that at the time. You think I knew that at the time? No, I thought it helped with my energy. So therefore, when I got pregnant, I had my system, and therefore they gave me a low dose. I've always had a low dose. Nothing more than a low dose, because I never had anything for the reason of needing it. And every single doctor I've been to, that's on the medical transcript. There's no history of anything. No rehab, no rug use for jail, no nothing. No prescriptions in my name at the pharmacy, nothing, okay? So, it was stupid to take it, but I couldn't get it out of my system once I already had it. So, you know, I'm not talking about that. Can you understand anything? Clearly, you ain't been here. You're a hater. Clearly. People who's been here know what I'm talking about. Because I thought it would help with energy. I thought it would help with having energy levels to feel normal. But that wasn't the case. I mean, it does make you have a sense of that, but that's what it's always been. I've only had 2 legal scripts back in 2012-13 after I gave birth for 20 Dros. That's it, ever. Nothing else, ever. That's how come my children hadn't been removed all the times DCS has been involved, because I don't do anything. I don't even drink. So, you know, that's why DCS hasn't been drug testing us or rug testing us this past 16 months, because we weren't on rugs. Okay? Oh. Really? See, they told me I needed an upper light and a lower light done. I just wouldn't have it done. Because I never had surgery. So I never had surgery, so I was nervous of having surgery. So they wanted me to have an upper light and a lower light to see where my blood was going and have a colonoscopy. And I didn't have it done. But it did stop. When I got my next one on out of my arm, it stopped. Like Kevin told me, that's making you bleed to death. I was like, uh-uh. It was. It was making me bleed to death. I bled over 300 days out of the year, sometimes 330. Now, it wasn't heavy, but I had to wear a pad or a panty liner. So, it's not good for your body. It's not. Nexplanon is not good for your body. Traveling, that's another risk. And then when I got it in the first time, I got it in, I was the first person who'd ever put it in. And I had been sexually assaulted after I had Natty. And, I was pregnant at my 6-week checkup and didn't know it. And so he put it in my arm, and I was walking out, and he's like, I told this story, get your ass back here right now. I was like, what? Because he'd never, like, been, I mean, he has no bedside manners, but that just shocked me. He said, what the hell is this? And I said, a false. Because the girl's was there before mine, and hers is still negative. He's like, hers is still negative, yours isn't. And he's like, go across the road and get blood work done. And if you don't, I'm hunting you down because I know where to find you. We had a weird relationship. That's why when he took my ovary and tube, it hurt me so bad. And he just didn't tell me. Like, he could have literally said, hey, Squirt, your baby ain't doing good. I cut you by accident. I got to save your life. I'm removing your ovary and tube. Asleep. And then it would have been good. But I've got it all recorded that none of that was said. Put me straight to sleep when they rushed Kevin out. So, he said, go across the road, get your blood work done, and if your blood work comes back, I need you back in here, and if you're not, I'm going to hunt you down. And I was like, I went and got it done. And I was. And that's what he said, are you just going to be a guinea pig to me? Put it in, take it out the same day. But I didn't know the effect it would have on my body. He told me, he said, hey, he said if we wouldn't have seen the test, I wouldn't have known until I was like 7 months pregnant. I wouldn't have known that I was pregnant. He said, I mean, you would have had signs, but it wouldn't have been like, it would have been battling with your pregnancy. It wouldn't have been good. So, yeah. That's why I haven't had an upper lower light done, because I never had surgery then. Then once I had surgery, I found out when I had trusting with a different doctor, and she was mortified, completely mortified. I mean, I have witnesses to this. I have a doctor who told me I will go to court with you because I'm not being held accountable for this. Because on our records, you have it. On his records, you have it. But after you have your son, you don't have it. But on his records, he says you do. On our records, you don't. So, where did it go? You don't have a surgery for your ovary and tube? I'll look at it, baby. I know, they always are. Thank you for telling me. He said, I'm not surprised. If they miss a day, something's wrong, you know. But, so yeah, just was nervous. I need upper light and lower light done because constipation, but I don't bleed like that anymore, luckily. I don't think it's menopause. I think that I literally was bleeding because of Nexplanon. And it made me the severe anemic that I was. Because when I met Kevin, I was severe anemic. I had already gotten, I think, 1 or 2 bags of iron at that point when I met Kevin, and it just wasn't staying because I was bleeding all the time. So, then once I took the Nexplanon out, I mean, it pretty much stopped immediately. But it took us 2 years to get pregnant. I never had that problem because I was fertile myrtle. Y'all know that. But it does. It affects your hormones. And they told me, multiple pharmacists told me, it takes a year to get out of your system. A year. That little bitty straw coffee turner takes a year. Miss Tina, are you still in here? I'm looking for Miss Taylor, but I don't think Miss Taylor's in here. I don't think she realizes I'm on this page. She's used to my other page. So, you know, I'll just say this. Riley hated me too, per his family around him. You know, Riley didn't like me because I wasn't his mother. He was motherless. He called his stepmama mother. Well, now, they don't get along. He's 17, almost 18. They don't get along. Guess who's his ear? Me. Guess who respects him and listens to him? Me. You know why? Because he wants his mother's reaffirming her love, her nurturing, her support, her guidance. That will never go away. And until your brain is 25 years old and fully developed, right now you're basing it off of other people and experiences and your own hurt and trauma, but other people can be influential on how you feel. Trust me. That's why my mother never talked bad about my dad, not one time. She refused to. She refused to talk bad about him because she still loved him secretly. And she knew that when I got older, I would say, well, Mom said this. Well, Mom said that. The one thing I've got on to Kevin about, back when he was complacent and being hateful, was you can't compare children to their donor who's not around when we're raising them. Is he wrong about that? He was wrong about that. Has he learned and grown? Yes. Sometimes it's hard for an older man to listen to a younger woman. I don't understand it. I want to slap him upside the head with a pan. I don't get it. But sometimes it takes a long time for a man who specifically is older than you by 2 generations, 2 decades, 20 years, to be like, oh, okay, she ain't lived as much life as I have, but she's right. She's right emotionally. I don't know. I would say most of the happy couples that you see been married 30, 40 years, they weren't happy. There was a lot of years they weren't happy. It took a lot of growth to get that part, to get to being comfortable and happy and calm and respect each other and not lie or cheat or whatever. I mean, people have problems. I'm not saying everybody lies or cheats, but I'm saying there's problems in every relationship. But when you have an older one, it's like trying to teach a new dog new tricks, and you're 20 years younger than him and the age of his child, you know? So it's been a learning experience. It really has. But he's grown a lot, and I have too. So what else do you ask? I mean, it just, you know, it doesn't make sense. Mowing? Zero, zero, we don't care. As many people that they can have support them, I can too, baby. Okay? I don't care. Doesn't matter about money. What matters is factual evidence, and what matters is the laws that you clearly aren't following or listening to. So I'm really worried with 0 followers and 0 whatever. What? I don't know what that means. Okay, I just didn't know what beer pour favors was. What is beer pour favors? What's that mean? I don't drink beer. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what beer you're talking about. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Girl, you can speak Spanish? No. Congrats. Don't apologize. I need you to translate. Me and Kevin, one Spanish next door. I don't call them Mexicans. One Spanish next door came over and he knocked on the wall. I was asleep. I was like, he scared me. Kevin opened that door lock. He thought it was the next door neighbor, the one that's English, that drinks. They all drink, but he comes to the door and he's like, okay, he couldn't speak English. So Kevin was like, I don't know what he's saying, Ashley. So I'm on the bathroom. I'm using the bathroom because I just got up because he woke me up. And I'm in there trying to find apps that will translate. So I sent him outside with Google Translate, and he only caught half of the sentence. He's like, he keeps talking in it, but it won't tell me what he's saying. So then I downloaded some translator app, and it asked, can we take him to the store and drop him off? And so Kevin's like, yeah. So they get in the car, and I see them doing this, pointing which direction they're going. And he says they get to the store, and they're pointing, and he says the guy gets out, and he's like, okay, okay. The guy starts walking off. Kevin cranks the truck, and he's like, oh, no. And Kevin's like, me? He was like, so, girl, I need somebody to translate, or tell me which translator app really works. Because they don't speak any English. They don't. That's not a lie. They do not speak any English. And they just kind of had to judge each other where they were going and what they were doing. But he was real sweet. He was real sweet. And they work hard. They do work hard. They go to work really early. They're roofers. I wish I could translate with them, but I couldn't get it to work. Maybe it's just because Kevin's he don't know nothing about. He does, but he don't. It's like, last night, why is all my stuff going on my computer? Pull it back up. So I go in there and pull that. He was like, oh, girl, I'd love to. He was like, I said, you're going to work when you fix their printer and their computer, but you come home and claim you can't work a printer and computer. He was like, oh, because I got you to do it. I was like, yeah, great. I was picking, but, you know. But anywho, hey. I wanted to. Oh, man. So, like, would y'all like me to do a Q&A eventually for, like, Kevin to do, me and Kevin? I think we should do a Q&A. I think that would probably be a good way to, like, get some stuff out there without having to wait the entire 8 months or 6 months or a year. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I'm learning. I'm learning how to edit as he's learning how to talk. So, it's going to take some time to learn. Thank you.